I am tired. Free people, what are supposed to be free people, upset because, well, we're not allowed to talk about politics or religion.
And I don't know a single person in this chamber that I would define as racist or sexist or bigoted. We have very different ideas about how to get to particular end states where all Virginians can be happy, healthy, prosperous, and free. But if you're going to question the faith or the intentions of anybody that happens to disagree with you on policy, then you don't get to lecture us on compassion, tolerance, or an open debate.
I don't want to be accused of being a bigot. The Bible says certain things about human sexuality, and I'm tired of feeling like a hostage in my own country. And then those same people get up and sit there and justify why there needs to be pornography in a school, or why that kid needs to get puberty blockers at 10 years old, or why that kid needs to be carved up, or that kid needs to be aborted at month 9. And I'm the bad guy? No, I'm sorry. Yep. Only in clown world is that the bad guy.
It looks like this culture shift is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like everywhere.
The only reason I believe it's been allowed to continue to this degree because there hasn't been enough men in society. Not that I don't want women to stand up too, but there hasn't been enough men in society to stand up and be like, slow your roll. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, this power that they're projecting, where does it come from? Honestly, when you look at the people, right, when you look at Antifa, are you worried about your physical safety? I don't see any one of these people that poses a physical threat to me. Absolutely not. Yeah. You want to go down that road, I will show you what a bad idea it was. But because of their influence within institutions we've all been taught to respect.
Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not militia.
The air thick with the menace of violence.
All I see are parents that want to pass the buck. It's the Second Amendment's fault. It's the school's fault. It's the police officer's fault.
Why are school shootings like this a recent phenomenon in American history? Gun ownership is not a recent phenomenon. Schools are not a recent phenomenon. It used to be that during hunting season, boys would show up with their shotguns in the truck on school so they could immediately get out to the fields as soon as school was over. Mm-hmm. Yet we didn't have this problem. How did we get to a point where there is such a disregard for human life that somebody believes that a perfectly legitimate way to express their frustration with the world is to shoot the most innocent within our society?
Wealthy interest groups like the NRA argue that more guns in the hands of citizens will make the country safer.
If you want to point out a lie, the very next thing you better do is point to the truth. And the truth is never going to be adequately defended simply by good argumentation. It's going to be adequately defended by you living it out in your life and people seeing the fruit of that. Men are especially under attack right now. Those men that believe in traditional standards of what they're supposed to do as men, as husbands, as fathers, as protectors, as providers, they're all being told that these are toxic attributes. When you look at things like aggression, when you look at things like a capacity and a capability for violence, those are not toxic in and of themselves. They're morally neutral. And I will tell you this, if the good guys don't know how to use those things, they're going to be ruled by the bad guys. We're well over $30 trillion in debt, and Social Security is run like a Ponzi scheme. And every time I say that, I get told, you're going to make old people mad. But when the federal government does it, it's okay because they have the legal right to do crap like this. FDR made it illegal for people to own gold. And then FDR set the price of gold based off of his lucky numbers. That's not myth, that's not hyperbole. His biographers admit this. He modeled so much of what he did under the New Deal off of Mussolini's Italy.
Very rare to meet and talk to a OG, original, born and raised Tennessean.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they can't afford to live here anymore.
Yesterday, we introduced you to several families that have exited Southern California.
Tennessee ranks as number 8 for people moving in.
Our family owns a significant portfolio here, and we're thinking of leaving.
You're thinking about leaving?
We're thinking of calling it quits. It's just not safe.
So they create the negative conditions which forces them to leave.
Overall size of the budget you're proposing is actually larger than it was in January.
But then when they go to the new place that has abundance, what do? They engage in the exact same sort of behavior. So they just essentially go around as a wrecking ball.
As New York City's migrant population continues to grow, so does the opposition.
This issue will destroy New York City.
Border states now are shipping these illegal immigrants up to New York, and all of a sudden, now that they're in their backyard, they don't like it.
I've gotten so sick of hearing people say, I'm going to fight for this, I'm going to fight for that, What do you mean going to?
Yeah.
Most people are very, very consumed with just trying to live their lives. They may be willing to accept it thinking it's just a fad, only to wake up too late to find out it wasn't.
Do you think it's a fad?
No.
I don't either.